Hi. Hey guys. Brixter here. Um, so welcome to this is my first ever live stream. So um just figuring this out a little bit. So today I'm going to be building ships. Well, I'll be building a spaceship and talking through my process, giving you guys tips and just things that I've learned because in the past I've built a lot of spaceships. Definitely grab some Legos because you guys along with me, and feel free to ask questions if you want in the chat here. When you're commenting though, let's try to keep all comments PG, and like stay on topic as much as possible. I'll be watching the comments and I'll try to answer your questions. So yeah, once again, this is my first live stream ever. I'm really excited, but if there's any like technical difficulties or anything, just bear with me, and hopefully this will go really. This will take about half an hour, but it might end up going longer than that. Welcome everyone. Again, today I'll be building a spaceship. I built lots of Lego spaceships in the past, and like dozens of them probably. But today I'll be building a smaller spaceship, more like these that I've got right here, that I've built in the past. So even at a really small scale, you can still get a lot of really interesting shapes and looks in spaceships. So hopefully we'll be seeing more of that today. Let me see. So today the spaceship, I'll be building a ship for this pilot here. Got him here to test the size. I am building at minifigure scale, so I have to make it so that it can fit a minifigure. And in order to do that and to keep this going smoothly, I have pulled out some pieces here in a color scheme that I decided on in advance, with some white here, teal, navy, and also some little light gray bits to just work as greebles and so forth. I've got a bin of just random parts here, lots of old sets that have ended their lives in here. I've also got a bin of more gray pieces. So that's what I'll be working with, and I may end up changing this color scheme up a bit. I may add in some yellow. We'll see. So let's see. I'm gonna go with an angle kind of like this so you guys can see what I'm doing here. And I'll be using this windshield piece here. So I have some ideas for how this might end up looking. I've had these big teal pieces sitting around for a while. I picked them up at Pick-a-Brick one time, and they looked really cool, but I haven't really been able to do much with them. So I'm hoping to maybe get to that today. But to start us off here, I'm just going to build the cockpit with the sides sideways, and it's a technique that makes it a lot easier to fit a minifigure in. So I'm using these bracket pieces, but in order to fit the minifigure, under this cockpit piece as well, I'm going to drop these down a little bit. So, let me see. Okay. All right. So as you can see, the area where the minifigure will sit is going to be one stud even lower than where the brackets are attached. That is just because the minifig won't fit very well otherwise, probably. So, yeah, just building this cockpit section up here. Okay, so now that I've got this, I can stick the minifigure in here, test out how it's looking. So once I have that cockpit piece on, there will definitely be enough clearance in there for the minifigure. So as far as sides go, I'll use these two pieces that have like this extra bit running along the edge down here along these sides, because they help cover up that gap in there and just make it look a lot smoother. Let's see. Building the nose section of these is always a little bit challenging to like make it look integrated enough with the sides. So let's see. With this cockpit here, it's pretty sleek looking. So ideally, this nose section here, the build would kind of match that somewhat. Let's see. So I mentioned that I might add in some yellow. So I'm thinking that maybe some yellow here along the nose section could look pretty cool to give it a little bit more aerodynamics. Got some angled here that actually work really well. When it comes to building the nose of a ship, I usually like to either give it a sleek pointed look, or I'll give it a like air intake or something at the front. So I'm thinking more of doing that this time. So just pull out some pieces here. All right. So I'll be attaching the nose section with this piece. Another bracket here. You'll notice me using these a lot today. They're very helpful when it comes to spaceships. Okay. I'll go ahead and attach this bracket right in front here. So now I can use a couple of these grill plate pieces here to give it a pretty cool looking front section right there. Let's see. So something else that can look pretty cool is when on a ship like this, the sides come up and slightly cover the cockpit to give it more of an angle there. So I'm going to see if I can work something like that in here. But notice also that I need to fit those arms in. So that's why I didn't put any plates right along here up at this upper level, because they wouldn't let the arms fit in there. So I'll build up around there a little bit more, just like so, and in front as well. Let's see. Something like that could look pretty cool here. Okay. So I'm gonna quickly grab a couple more. What aren't? These are actually pretty cool pieces. I'm gonna grab a couple more white plates here. Nice, because I can just grab a bin. I've been over like the last, I don't know, 6 months or something. Me and my brothers have been like going through and sorting through all our Lego. So I'm thinking of having something like this, where then this it would kind of cover up that bit of the windshield. So notice the arms can fit in there as well. So I'm just going to now repeat that on the other side. Let me try to find one of those yellow pieces, the second one. Okay. Cool. Let's see. And then so yeah, definitely try building along with me, because next time I do one of these, I will feature builds that you guys send me. So okay, I think that's looking pretty good as far as the overall shaping goes there. So I'm just going to continue kind of rounding this off a little bit more, giving it a nice sleek finish. All right, cool. So now, as far as attaching this cockpit goes, I need to find some hinge pieces to go up top. These will do perfect. Then ideally, this area would be shaped kind of like the back of this cockpit, right? So I'm gonna see if I can find pieces that would do that. Let's see. Okay, a couple of these would work pretty well. So right now I'm just kind of working on meshing this front section into what will become the rear section of the ship. Now I'm going to try some of these teal pieces on here, just seeing how that looks. It's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, wait, let's try. So I'm using one of these yellow grills, but then I'm laying these teal pieces over it to give it a curved look there. So I'm really digging how that's looking. So anyhow, about this upper section here. So some of these slope pieces are necessary. And then, let's see. Okay. That meshes pretty well there. So I like how that is looking. Those are some cool pieces there. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. Now I just got to attach it down here, which won't be too difficult. I'll just grab some more bricks here. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to flesh out this intersection here of the cockpit a little bit more right now. I'm going to use this piece here. Not actually sure what it was originally for. It probably was originally for a seat. It's been just used as so many things, but that just goes right in behind the pilot as his seat there. So now he's got a nice little area in there. And then this back section will just attach via some, like a brick here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, cool. So that should do it for the cockpit section here. And as I go, I'll keep an eye out for another one of these yellow grates to finish out this other side. So on to the rear section. Before I actually build the rear section, I'm going to build out the wings a bit here. Just checking in on comments here. Sorry. Okay. So I see Aiden's asking about my stealth bike. Yeah, definitely. Like I put those tutorials out there so that people can use them in mocks, right? Like feel free to as long as you're not selling it, right? Then feel free to use it for whatever. So anyhow, as far as these wings go, I am trying to incorporate these like giant round pieces because I really like how this wing here. So let's see how that will work. Incorporating that might work. I'm just using a bunch of different plates here on the bottom to make this as interesting of a shape as possible. Okay, cool. Okay. So let's see. I'm thinking these wings would kind of come down kind of from the top, something like that. What do you guys think about that? Like, stick in the chat thumbs up if you think that would look cool. And here I'll quickly assemble a second one, just so we can see them all put together. Seeing May suggested to put a grill or something in the big hole. That's a really good idea. I would like to. Let's see how much time we have, because yeah, that is definitely something that would look really cool. So depending on time, I would definitely consider doing that. Okay, so I've got a couple of these, and I might add, I'll probably add more to these later, but just so that I can kind of see what I'm going for here. Let's see. Okay. So when I'm going to attach these, I'm thinking of using some sort of hinge pieces. So let's see, something simple like just some click hinges like this would work. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. Finding a lot of these click hinges. Oh, okay. Finally, I found the other side to this hinge. Okay, let's see. So if I'm attaching these wings, something like that, I think for these, it would look better if I attach them more on the underside, so it's hard to see where the attachment point is. So I'm going to stick plates under here to boost the height of this up a little bit so that this attachment point is less noticeable. Now, sometimes being able to see where the wings attach can be really good. It's just this specific ship, I think, would benefit from having a slightly more polished, like sleek look to it. Okay, so, oops. Okay, so that makes a pretty good attachment point there. It's pretty strong. So I am now going to see about building up this back body section here in order to attach that. Now I'm noticing that I already have it right here built up 5 plates worth. So I'm gonna stick a couple of these in here, and with those I can actually I have this really nice piece here that has studs on the side, as you can see. But if I attach it onto this sideways piece right here, then I can actually build just onto the top of all of that. And it attaches it really well, makes it really strong. So I think that I have another one of these larger white sideways in here. Let me see quickly. Oh, okay, great. I do. Okay, so, and I found another dark blue piece. It's interesting. I said that this would have dark blue in its color scheme, but so far there doesn't seem to be any. So we'll have to see how that turns out. But okay, so now that I have these sections on here, there's a little bit of a weird gap on. Do you see right in there? There's like this little gap that I want to fill in really quickly. It'll get harder and harder to do that as we go on. So, maybe I'll simply stick in a couple little pieces like this right in there to give it a little bit more of a greebled look. Let's see. The question is if I can find another one of those. By the way, here's some. Okay. By the way, for those of you who don't know, greeble, a greeble is simply basically something that makes it look like it would work. So like bits of engines or whatever, they're not real engines, right? They don't actually do anything, but they simply make it look more realistic and more believable. Okay, so now I can attach those in. Let's get a piece on top of it all. We've got this little gap in the back here. So, I'll just leave that there for now. And we'll see. I might even like make something slide into there. We'll see in the future. Okay. So now we've got this back section right here, and in order to get these wings on, let's see. You know, rather than having this large plate on top of there, I'm going to put in a few smaller pieces, but slopes instead. You know, there's some that I noticed right in here. Okay. So I'll put in a couple of these slope pieces. Because then I can attach these wings onto those slopes. Hold on. I have to move it back though in order to so that the wing doesn't hit this section. Okay, here's another. So if I put these together. Okay. So this section, let's attach it right there. And you know, I'm going to, I said I wasn't going to fill this in, but I am going to fill it in right now. And I'm just gonna stick some random colored parts in there. It's always kind of fun putting like really random colors in the places where people won't end up seeing them. So yeah, let's try that right there. Now this wing fits on pretty nicely there. In fact, no, you know, yeah, I might bring it up by one stud though, because it gets a little bit close to the front section. Okay, so I think that looks pretty cool right there. What do you guys think? Good? Okay, cool. So let me just find the parts to attach that second wing. Right here. Okay. All right, I need a gray 2x4. Right there. All right. Okay, that's starting to shape up there. I'm starting to really like where this is going. So now I'll just sort of fill in this top part here. And I know we're getting a little bit, we've gone over the half hour that I was guessing, but I'm just gonna keep going, and feel free to stay on if you'd like. So I have these nice rounded teal pieces, right? So I'm thinking maybe I'll put something like this up here, and that might look pretty cool. So let's see. Maybe now is a good time to try attaching some of this dark blue, because I feel like having a piece right like there, this piece right there could look pretty cool. So in order to do that, I'll find some more of those clip pieces in here. All right. Okay, so now, okay, we need, I'll put this 2x6 in here. And, you know, on either side of this, right in there and back here, I'm going to build it up a bit. Okay, I'm going to use these dark gray masonry bricks, but I'm going to flip them so that the straight part is out, because that could look interesting if you see that this space in the side. There isn't much space in the side, but if you're able to see it, then I'd prefer it to look interesting. And you know, as far as this part right here goes, I don't want to leave that exposed, so I'm going to put some white pieces over it on both sides. So now it doesn't really matter, these masonry bricks here. But they're there. So let's now put these wings back on. And I'll just find a 2x2 to go right there. Okay. So now let's try attaching this right here. Oh, it is slightly too far forward, so I'll move it back. All right, and that comes down right over that. I think that looks pretty cool there. So now there's still this little section right here. So I'm thinking I'll put like a grill piece over it and maybe this piece here to give it a little bit of greebling there. You know, I'll find like gray piece to match it better. All right. So that right there, just a little bit of greebling. But notice it also attached this back section to the forward section again. And that can just close right on top of those. Oh, you know, it's pushing down slightly on these pieces here. So since these pieces here are getting in the way kind of a lot, I'm thinking I'll switch them out for 2x3 slopes rather than 2x4 slopes. Let me just grab a couple. Okay, so let's try these instead. That certainly fixes the problem, although now there's this kind of weird gap here. So I wonder if there's a way to get rid of that. You know, maybe it was better when it was moved forward. I'm just gonna go back and try that. Now see, now it doesn't quite shut on that. So I'll move it back, but I'm going to try okay. You know, what I'll actually do is I'll move this up by 1 stud worth. So let's find. Okay, this will work. You know, I'll actually. Oops. It's okay. I'll leave that wing off for now. We only need 1 to test. I'll switch those 2 pieces. And then, okay, now let's see how this looks. Okay, that looks really cool. I will now put these back on. Okay, that fits just fine now. And it actually looks even better from the side there. I can put my little greeble bits back on right there. And let's see, where did that other go? Okay, there we go. Now the cool thing about this is that now, rather than simply lifting up on this windshield, you first have to lift this up and then this. I can see that being some sort of cool function in a film where it's like this has to come up before this. It's kind of like locks it on here. Plus it looks pretty darn cool there. Okay, now for the back here. We've got basically the front finished. We still have this back section and the sides right here unfinished. So when it comes to these sides, I'm going to pull these wings off here. Maybe we can incorporate some more of this navy in here. So actually, yeah, that looks pretty good there. I'm going to try putting these slope pieces in on either side along here. And grab a couple of these white 1x6 plates right there. And now I can attach these navy slope pieces in there. So that looks pretty cool there. And gives it a little bit more navy as well to go along. And then as for this part right here, maybe there's some more cool greebling we can put in. Let's see here. Maybe I can use these pieces right in there, or maybe I can angle them this way actually. That would look pretty cool. And then attach some stuff right on there. I'll add those in on both sides. And I think that once the wings are in there, that would look pretty cool down there. Let's find something to put on them though. Maybe, so I have this like wheel piece here. If I can find, okay, yeah, I can attach it via this piece and put that right there. And that kind of looks like some sort of jet propulsion there. So I really like how that looks. I'm going to do that on both sides now. Okay. All right, so now it's got a couple repulsors there, but there's still this one little section right back here. And I'm thinking I can put a few more small grooves in there. Make it look pretty cool. Let's see. Okay, so as you can see there, I've got a little bit of greebles and I've got those repulsors there. So I'm going to quickly add in a couple greebles on the other side as well. Okay, I'll use this gray skeleton leg here. That looks pretty interesting. And now let's put those wings back on and see how it looks. Oops. You know, these keep falling off. I'm thinking I'm gonna put a piece down along under those. Yeah, got a couple more white 1x6s. So as you can see, I'm just attaching them actually under these slopes here so that they don't keep falling off. And now those go right back on like so. Okay, there we go. So now under those wings, it looks pretty cool down there. You can see right through the holes in the wings, and it's looking quite awesome. You know, I have an idea. I have some of these yellow pieces right here. So maybe I can make stripes going through. Let me grab a few more of those. Okay. Okay. That's starting to look really cool. So now this upper section right here could use some more work, I believe. And also this back here. So I'm going to start with this back because the back is quite important. And I'm thinking it might look cool to have a piece like this back here. Kind of just close it off and look really smooth. So let me find a sideways piece. Okay, this should work perfectly. Or almost. Okay, I need to find something that's slightly shorter. So I'll use just this piece right here. I'll put a 1x1 underneath it. I'll lift this bit here in the back to slide it under right there. And now we can attach this piece on the back. So that looks pretty cool. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And you know, I bet we could attach maybe a couple of these back here. It doesn't look bad. Although, you know, it's a little bit flat. So I'm thinking there's this nice little space going on right here where it's, as you can see, it sticks out. It sticks out farther right here than it does down here. So I'm going to see if I can add in a slope there, because that would look pretty awesome in the back. So as far as slopes go, I could either use something like this, but this type of thing doesn't work too well for slopes going like upward. So I'm instead going to use these again. If I can find the other part, the other side of this. Okay, so yay, there we go. Something like that, and I can slip that in right there. And let's see. Then, in order, actually, you know, I could just use some sort of piece that's sloped. So I'm going to pull this off just enough down here to slip this sideways back in. Okay. And then stick that back on, making sure it's all in there really strong. Okay, so now we've got studs here. And, you know, now I could use, where to go? I could use one of these right there if I want. And that would look quite good. But, you know, at this point, I'm thinking that maybe just building it up with some pieces that might have slopes on them could look even better. Or, you know, maybe even pieces without slopes. That's looking pretty cool right there. Or, you know, maybe this is actually a good point to attach like engines on the back. We can have an engine right here. If I can pull that off. Let's see. Okay, here's a white 2x2. So we can attach that right on there. This one there. And now we have an engine back there. As for this, I'm thinking that it would probably be better just to have it kind of more closed off along here with just plates or something like that. So let's see. I'll pull that engine off for the moment. I'll add it back on in a bit, but so the angle of this is not quite right to cover up this space really. Whoops, we got a missing wing here. Let's get that attached again. So instead, let's see. What other size plates do we have? So we have this slope. That's a lot closer. So if I can move that out by a stud, that could work really well. Let's see. Oh, another thing that could maybe work is using a couple of these pieces. Let's see. And attaching them just like so, right there. That actually looks quite cool. The great thing about that is then I could potentially attach engines onto those sections. So let's see quickly. How would this work? We don't necessarily need an engine down there if we have them up here. So, okay, if we have a flat right there, and then we have one. Let's see if we can find another one of those teal ones. There's some more fuel pieces. Okay. For the moment, let's not worry about making them teal. Instead, we could attach a couple of these pieces right here. Hold on. Okay, that's a better one. Oh, our skeleton leg fell off down there. Get that back on right there. Okay, so now we have a couple of those engines, and then let's try to, you know, I have an idea here. I'm going to put this yellow slope piece on the back that will sort of slope up to whatever we have built out back here on top. And then down here where this engine is, we can use another one of these if we want to kind of create, or I'll put this back in, to create like this three-pronged engine assembly there. I think that looks pretty cool. What do you guys think about those thrusters there? You know, maybe we should even add these on to all of them. Let me see if I can find another. Might not be able to find one, which is okay because, I mean, it looks pretty cool like that as well. So, anyhow, let's finish out this top section really quickly. I know we're coming up on an hour here, so let's finish this out. Let's see. We can sort of have a yellow stripe going down here. I feel like that would look pretty cool. So I'm going to build this out a little bit with yellow right along there. Gosh, who knew a yellow 1x2 would be so hard to find in here? Actually, you know, I'll use this piece right there, because that would come up right flush with this yellow section. I'll use a white 1x2 to attach those together. Here's one. Rather than a yellow one, so that the yellow is just kind of across the very top more. So, oops, let's get that back on there. You know, I was thinking of having this on, like on top there, but you know, now I feel like that wouldn't quite fit that well. So let's just have kind of this yellow area going across here. I'm going to put in some more greeble type thing along there as well with light gray. At least I'll try. Let's see what I can figure out. Okay, this does just fit there. So I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay, here's one. And then could just have a couple more of these one by ones. Kind of interesting looking pieces. So now we've got this yellow section down the back, which looks cool. We've also got this dark blue section right there. So I'm thinking maybe I'll use this dark blue piece. Although it would be nice for it to be flat. So let me just quickly see what I have in here as far as that goes. Okay, I have this dark blue piece that's partially flat. Oh, okay. I have this, oh, you know, if I use these together, then I could probably attach this right there. What do you guys think about that? So I've got this navy dark blue stripe kind of coming down the back. In fact, I could attach this piece right there. I think that looks pretty cool. So, then, let's see here. I might actually attach this piece slightly differently, just so that it's slightly more sleek. Let's see. You know, if I'm not able to find the piece, that's fine. I can just do it like this. I just check one more time. Oh, okay. Here is the piece. So let's see. Might have to change out this yellow one here though. And instead use, let's see, if I can find a couple yellow one by ones with a stud in the center. Okay, you know, I'll just use these white ones here because it kind of gets covered up anyhow. And we've got this right here, and I'll put this piece on too. All right, so what do you think about that? I think that this is just about done. You know. The only thing that I'd say is maybe putting a little bit more flat to these wings. So let's see what flat pieces I have here. Okay. So we can put at least some of this on. we can, for example, have, oh, okay, here's some more. Okay, I will just, finish these wings out by placing a few of these, these wings. They're pretty large, so they're kind of heavy. I am if I can, in the next moment, if I find some more yellow flat pieces. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay. Just curious. No, that doesn't look great. Actually, that doesn't look bad there. Whoops. Hold on. Okay, cool. So I think that does it. Although I have these cool pieces, so I mean, might as well do something with them. What do you think about that down at the wingtips? Gives it a little bit more of an interesting look there. And you know, maybe with those, it would make sense to have these blue markings on there. That's pretty cool looking. Hold on. I'm just trying to think about this. You know, although they look pretty cool down there, I'll just pull those off since I don't think they're necessary and they're a little bit distracting. But you know, otherwise, I think that these wings look really cool. So that brings us to the end of this. So let me know what you guys think about this in the chat. And you know, if you guys have been building along, please share what you've done with me, because if I do this again next week, which I am very strongly considering, I will be featuring what you guys came up with this time next week. So either send me an email at brixterproductions@gmail.com or post a picture of your creation on Instagram with hashtag #BuildWithBrixter. So I really look forward to seeing what you guys built. I had a lot of fun with this. I hope you did too. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and consider subscribing. So yeah, that brings us to the end. Thank you all so much. This was a ton of fun. I'm really looking forward to hopefully doing it again next week. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. Have a great day, great week. Bye. Oh, thanks to all of you guys in the chat who said this looks great. Yeah, I really like how it turned out as well. So thank you all.